The following is a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.
I have no clue what we're talking about.
Where's all your show prep?
Huh? I don't have any show prep today. You know what? You're a psychologist.
I am.
You're supposed to take Dr. Josh Klapow.
Good morning.
Former UAB clinical psychologist, now of course on everything and anything that moves.
I'm a performance coach. I'm a performance coach now.
Yeah, you're a life coach.
No, I'm not.
You're a life coach. You're the Dr. Phil of 2023.
No.
So this show goes because I throw out little things and you can.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're not going to do that today. May the 4th be with you, my friends.
I had no idea.
Really?
I'm not a Star Wars guy. Never was.
I'm not either. I saw the first one. I hadn't seen it.
I think I saw a couple of them.
I saw the first one, and I think I saw Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think I did, so I probably didn't because I don't remember it. But I haven't seen anything since then.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better because I thought
But I'm not a movie guy.
Yeah, well,
I don't
neither
see
am I.
movies.
Yeah,
the last movie I saw was like Jurassic Park. So, but I do want to go see that new Nike flick. I want to go see that Air movie.
Yes.
But see, I say that, and then after it's out for a little while, it's kind of like starting to like a song after it's been out for a year.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you kind of feel like a tool. You're like, well,
everybody else.
Yeah, that Celine Dion song's great. It's about 25 years ago.
Plus, I mean, maybe it's just I'm getting lazy. That by the time, I mean, they're coming to streaming so relatively quickly.
I wanted to go see that Glass Onion movie. I saw the first one, Knives Out, and I thought it was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I went with my son. And then I wanted to go to the theater and watch it, and you couldn't watch it on the theater. I know I could probably just get it on my TV. We could watch it this morning if you wanted to. But you know what? I'll say this about the Star Wars thing, and it's so deep now. There must be thousands of different shows that have Star Wars, and Lucas had a great deal where in lieu of being paid to produce and direct these movies, he took a piece of the licensing rights. So he's a billionaire because of the licensing stuff. And really, of all the franchises, it's Star Wars, and then what would be
the Marvel stuff?
The Marvel, okay, to an extent. I don't think it's even close, even to Marvel.
Well,
DC. I think it's here. I think it's double, and then below Marvel, what would it be? What's the next big franchise? Indiana Jones.
No, because it didn't.
James Bond, you'd think would be something, but kids ain't gonna.
But Marvel, I mean, Star Wars is interesting because you think about Marvel. Marvel was before, right? Marvel went from
Fast and Furious.
No,
they're on their 10th. You know what?
Maybe.
We got all this exhibition driving.
Yeah.
Where do you hell do you think that came from?
I know.
And I cannot believe that's not a sport yet. We got pickleball. Someone needs to build a damn parking lot. Down off Port of Madrid Boulevard and have a night of exhibition driving.
Okay, an amateur sport. I mean, like a
professional sport.
No, recreational. Well, don't we have that? No, I guess we don't.
We have drifting. We have racing, but we don't have an exhibition drive. I don't think there's an exhibition. Someone needs to. I should say that. Someone's probably doing it right now. We should have exhibition. That should be an Olympic event. I'm not kidding you.
We'll start X Games. We'll go to X Games first.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
And just do donuts and skid. I mean, we've been doing exhibition driving forever.
Right.
My brother used to do it in the church parking lot.
Right.
My mom would get so pissed off at him after he'd wait till everyone left and he'd just be living.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So, but why isn't that a sporting event?
Yeah.
We should do that. We got pickleball. Why not make exhibition? It's a little more expensive.
You can take any car you want out there.
No, so Star Wars geeks are into it today. And, I'm so far behind the curve on this. I'm just not. I couldn't tell you.
I do like the concept of the Force, right? The Force.
Yes.
And I mean, it has such biblical. It's biblical, psychological, New Age. Yeah. The idea of sort of letting the universe speak to you.
It never gets old.
No, and I mean that's where Lucas was genius. I mean he's pulling it from it's God. Yeah. It's a God thing, and so it never gets old.
And you threw some family in there.
Absolutely. Well, and then you got the whole the Yoda and just sort of the whole Yoda concept, and we love. I mean, you think about it. This was pre-internet, pre-social media. Mm-hmm. We love inspirational quotes, pithy things that just leave us like hanging.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what he did. And the Force idea is is critical. I mean, it's critical to who we are and how we are.
When you talk about biblical, though, you and you're talking my jargon here, but when you're talking about the mystery and the science and the force of something that we cannot comprehend, which was a lot of what Star Wars was.
That's
back
exactly.
in the 70s, and now all of a sudden we're seeing it almost 50 years later. We love that. We love the fact that there's a fourth dimension, that there's wormholes, that there's things that we don't, black holes, there's things that we don't understand that we know probably exist because we're doing the science on it, we're trying to figure it out. But we love that. And the fact that he had that foresight to do that 50 years ago is pretty amazing.
Well, we love it, and we also love it because it allows us to make what we want of it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the best thing. When the force is, whatever the force is defined for us, unless it's defined in a positive way, then we don't want to hear it.
And really, and I'm looking up over your shoulder, and I'm seeing in theaters Friday, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've not seen that, but I hear those movies are great.
Yeah.
I'll go see it. But so think to yourself, what were the space shows before Star Wars that you remember? There's only one that I can remember that
was before Star Trek.
Star Trek was one of them. I remember Lost in Space.
Oh, yeah, I didn't count that as a space show, but yes, Lost in Space.
Was. And then Star Trek. Star Trek really kind of put in
Star Trek to me was the precursor-ish.
My brother was a geek, so he was a Battlestar Galactica guy. The Battlestar Galactica people didn't like the Star Trek people, and the Star Trek people didn't like the Battlestar Galactica because Battlestar Galactica was like the B. But it was a cult classic. And I don't
there's another one.
What's that?
Which just blows my mind. Do you remember Space 1999?
Oh, yeah. So you had that. So then when the Star Wars thing hit, just look at just the space genre.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Star Wars was the space genre, Jimi Hendrix was to classic rock.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes Jimi Hendrix all time great. It'll never change. He's or the Beatles to songwriting.
So what would Star Trek be?
Star Trek took
music. You know what I mean? If you got Star Trek and Star Wars, and Star Wars is Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles.
And one of the reasons Star Trek has been so successful too is we love. I mean, I heard Duran Duran on the way over here, dropping the kids off, and I can't believe that there's Duran Durans in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like, I don't get it. But one of the reasons they're in, they're still relevant. They're still playing.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, they started a tour a couple nights ago.
One of them died.
I don't think it doesn't matter. There's not a member left of Lynyrd Skynyrd, my friend, and they're still playing. The last one died, right?
Yeah.
Damon Johnson's still getting after it. So, but I mean, when you're relevant, you keep playing, when you keep going, you always, when you wrap it up and move on to something else, you're done. But if you're still out there in some capacity, you always have the opportunity to take it up to another level.
So Star Trek stays because
Star Trek made a hell of a lot more money in the last 20 years than it did in its first 20, just because of Picard and everything they did.
Well, that one, yeah. See, but I don't count that. I mean, I understand it. To me, I know they're related, but it just feels like it's just there's no blending of it.
I think Star Wars is Kiss.
Star Wars is Kiss? Or Star Trek?
Star Trek, I'm sorry. Star Trek is Kiss.
No, really?
Yeah, it's still relevant. They're still on the road. They played a show last night. They're still doing their final thing. They're still. They took the makeup off. They put the makeup back on. They're all constantly. You get Kiss stuff. You can still get buried in a Kiss coffin.
I feel like Star Trek is more. I feel like Lucas probably got inspiration from Star Trek, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
That's what I mean. So so musically, I don't know what it. I don't. They're foundational. They were the first.
Yeah.
Was there anything before that? I mean, Lost in Space was, but not really. And Lost in Space was like clunky.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it was cheesy.
No, it was super cheesy, but that's what made it so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Star Trek in some ways was cheesy.
And Lost in Space was funny.
Right.
The Jetsons.
Oh, that's different. That was futuristic
Flying
in
cars.
a different way.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Daughter Judy.
Yeah. But like Star Trek was, there were two things for me with Star Trek. One, time transport.
Yeah.
Like just the idea that you could go wherever you wanted to go. Yeah. That was super cool.
Yeah.
And the second was they could heal any injuries.
Do you really think that you
McCoy.
really? I saw the show on Wormholes the other night. Do you really believe that that there's this fourth dimension where we can travel not only in time and space, but also travel back in time?
I feel like I don't understand enough about experimental or philosophical, what's it called? Experimental physics? No, theoretical physics.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't understand enough.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear fourth dimension, I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
B, I saw the Matrix, but I have colleagues who are scientists who could answer that question in a better way.
We should get them on the show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You ever watch? Have you ever? Got a good.
I love about this.
What's that?
The podcast part is great. This reminds me just a little of like cable access.
Oh, this is better cable access. Yeah. David Merlin, my friend,
yes,
the illusionist who we've had several times. He Fox had a show on the CW about behind the scenes of magic, and they don't ever tell you anything. I watch the Penn and Teller show once in a while. Once in a while, they'll do a trick and they'll just show you how you do it, but it's never
the good ones. They did
an elevating thing the other night, and I was like, and they showed, you did it. If you really don't believe in this fourth dimension or the Star Wars or the fact that we can go from one place to another or time travel, watch them. If you know someone that'll do it. Now I've asked David, I'm like, can you show me how you did it? And he's like, no. Right. That's their thing. The magicians do not share. Now they'll share things with other magicians all the time.
Right.
They always share their tricks, right? But if you've ever seen a magic trick and you're like, and you've watched it a million times and you cannot figure out how in the world they're doing it, and then you find out how they did it, it's so stupid. Right. It's so it's so like, how in the hell did I miss that? I'm not talking about sleight of hand or just being super fast. You're looking at like something where something's being elevated or moving or a knife flying around it, and you're like, and then you find out how they did it. It's so simple. It's so like, it takes a lot of practice, right? And I think that's what I think. Sometimes we try too hard to try to figure something out when it's right there in front of us.
Tony, you can't. The force must come to you.
Yes.
You can't think your way to the force.
Mm. So today on Fox 6 at 9:35 with Janice and Dubs. I'm going to promote it right now because we've got thousands of people watching here that are going to hear the segment. But at 9:35 today, you're going to give us the 4 forces, as we do. May the 4th be with you. 4 forces that will give you a better life. Now, I said you should own this segment. I won't say a word during the entire segment, although I'm going to add one. But I said, Dr. Josh needs to own this on Fox 6. You should take the entire 6 minutes of the segment. The 4 things, the 4 forces in your life that can make your life better. I said, but don't say eat better, get more exercise, sleep better, communicate more. Those are easy. I want one that is outside the box, that is something totally different that I would have never thought of. It may be specific to your life, but something that people will go, what? And then maybe try it and it works. All right, you got an hour to get it done. By the way, the clock is
now it's right?
It's right. It's 3 minutes fast.
An hour and 3 minutes fast.
No, it's right on.
No, it says 9.
No, it doesn't. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we have to go now because
I'm on Eastern time. Because people in New York are watching us. All right, I'm going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk about the loss of a music legend. And then, I thought we lost 2 this week.
Is he better?
He was never hurt.
Oh, it was a rumor?
Yeah, and it pisses me off.
Who'd start? That's terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
you texted me. I thought
just to get clicks. It's terrible. So bad. What if I said Dr. Josh died this morning?
I know.
Just like I could get on Instagram right now and say Dr. Josh, my best friend, I lost him last night to pneumonia, blah blah, and I'd probably get 100,000 clicks. I could start a business out of it. How would that make you feel? Would you do that for me?
Yeah, sure. I'm saying, to help you make money and support your family.
We're back in 30 seconds.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.